making these packets for you, I thought it would be a lot easier for you to see visually to possibly answer any questions that we might have as we go through the budget. And there were just a few things that I thought it was important to show you. The first change is as far as a 3% increase for the employees. But if you look on the very first page here of the packet that I have handed out to you, there's a couple of changes. We're going to be able to pay Lisa Rossiter, who's our child support clerk, 30% of her salary out of our 4D incentive money. And I checked with the state and with Maximus, it's a company that we deal with that helps us with our incentive money to see if that was okay to do that, and that has all been approved. So we will be doing that. 30% of her payroll will be coming out of 4D incentive money. And if you look on the next page, it shows you their 8899 Clerks Incentive Fund. It shows you what we have in that fund. I've talked to Jenny extensively about this fund as far as what we can spend out of this fund, and I have to tell you my hands are very tight and it's very limited. I do purchase support checks out of that fund, and I do pay Maximus, which is a company that helps with all the paperwork for us to be able to receive more incentive money. And that's really about all. And it's really frustrating, I know, to the council and to the commissioners too, that you see this money sitting here, and it's a nice chunk of money. But by law, my hands are tied, and I've checked the best that I can to see what we can spend out of this. And I know Maximus came and talked to the commissioners and to Jenny. They're going to do a little bit more checking, but at least we can get Lisa going. About 30% of her pay will be able to go to be able to come out of this fund. The next one then, back on the first page, Mary Frankel. Mary Frankel is our part-time file management clerk. The clerk's office took on Mary Frankel as their employee on our payroll. I think it was back when Paula resigned. And 2 years ago, I was able to pay half of her wages out of my perpetuation fund. And I propose to be able to do that again for 2013. If you look on the third page here, 4202, that's my document storage perpetuation fund. That's what we have there at this point. And I will be able to pay half of her wages out of that. But what I did want to show you, to let you know, if you go to the next page, and you'll see there what I spend out of my document storage. Document storage is money that I can use for anything that pertains to our files, maintenance of the files. So that could be computers, it could be equipment. If you just go down the line here, you see that I purchase fee books, judgment books, on down. The ones that are highlighted in orange are the things that maintain to file management that we have taken on. Even though file management is a county office, and all of the offices use file management, I do pay for certain things on my perpetuation fund. We take care of the maintenance of the film reader. We now purchase all boxes that all offices use. Again, half of her salary. And then at the very bottom, this is something that Jenny and I talked about. There's a company that the county has hired. It's all shred, and they come in and they pick up all of the paperwork and files that need to be shredded. And that's the amount right there, the yearly. And I'll go ahead and pick that up too and pay for that out of the perpetuation fund. But I wanted you to also know, to be aware of, I have to be really careful with my document storage because the next few pages, and I'm sorry for all these pages, I hope you're able to keep up here. But the next page, it shows you there what I've taken in so far this year, which is a little over $5,000. The next page is what we took in the whole entire year of 2011, which is just not quite $12,000. And the year prior to that, it was around $13,000. I have to be very careful because if I continue to pay Mary's wages out of my document storage, I'm going to bleed it dry. And I have to be extremely careful with that because, as you can see from the list, I purchased a lot of other items for my office. I just placed an order for 26 RJOs, and I believe that bill's going to come back and be about $8,000. So I have to be very careful on draining that dry. So I just kind of wanted to give you an idea. This year, or for 2013, I think I'll be okay to pay half of Mary's wages out of that, and I'm very willing to do that. Any questions there? I know I'm talking really fast.
Is that rolled over? If you
Yes.
don't use it?
Yes, it is. And so is the 4D incentive money. It is rolled over. It's very frustrating with the incentive money because there are so many restrictions and rules and laws, and so that money sits there, and it's frustrating to see it sit there. But there's just not a lot of things that I can purchase out of that. But the document storage, my perpetuation fund, I can purchase quite a few things. I know we used to have a line item, I think it was the commissioner's budget, where they paid for the RJOs and all of our fee books. When I say that, I'm talking about, if you've been in my office, those huge heavy books that weigh about 25 pounds, and then we've got the smaller books. They are extremely expensive. I've done some search to try to find if I can purchase them anywhere cheaper than Boyce, and Boyce is about the cheapest that I've been able to find. But they're extremely, extremely expensive. I have been able to do away with our some of the books that the state has allowed us to do, so we're saving a little bit of money there. But anyway, that's kind of in a nutshell about the perpetuation fund. So, any questions? Okay. Then, if you move on to the 2013 office operating supplies, I know this was new, that we were asked to put this on our budget. I just kind of made a quick list here just to show you pretty much what we, in a nutshell, what we purchase. Jenny had asked me, if you see in the very top one, confirmed delivery. Confirmed delivery is what we use now instead of certified mail with the little green cards. Confirmed delivery is a company that we use, and we save quite a bit of money by using them instead of doing confirmed delivery through the post office. And what I did is I contacted them and I said, I know council would like to see what we're saving. So if you turn to the next page here, you'll see it shows here, I've highlighted, is for January 1st through December 13th, what we have saved. And there is a savings of over $3,000 in using confirmed delivery, and that also includes buying supplies from them. Because you can see, you know, it's almost $3,000 in supplies that we purchase yearly, and what that is it's envelopes, plastic envelopes, to put all of the mailing in and so forth. So that's a huge savings, and already this year on the next page we've saved about $1,400 so far. So I just wanted to show you that I felt like that was a huge saving and something that we should continue with. But on down the list there, that's just other things that we purchase, and that's why I had requested around $7,500 in supplies, office supplies. But that just shows you a little bit of what we would spend that on.
Now, you guys have the the postage machine in your office.
Mm-hmm.
So is some of this for other offices?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We take care of all the mail for the courthouse and for the sheriff's department. I know Jenny takes care of the government center, her office.
Okay, so that would be why your supplies would be higher.
Right. And we have just switched to a new company, Pitney Bowes. We're excited about that. So I'm not quite sure what their supplies will be. I put $600 beside their names because that is what we spent last year for hustlers. So that's an approximate. So we'll see what Pitney Bowes supplies will be. But that was just to show you what we had spent last year. Any questions there then? Okay, and then The next one is, this is for our maintenance costs, the Whitley County 2013 maintenance cost. CSI is our software company that we use. This is, a lot of offices, excuse me, use JTS. There is an increase this year. The increase takes place at the very bottom, if you'll see the database, the 4Js. The 4Js is something that the probation office uses, community service, the courts, the public, and that is where the cost is going up. We have 29, they're called GUIs. Basically, that's just a license. We have 29 license, and the cost for the GUIs has gone up. Nothing else has gone up. The hardware went up. The software went up last year, but the hardware went up this year. So there is a slight increase there with CSI.
Now, I remember a long time ago that the departments each took their own responsibility for their number of users they had on the software, but now it all comes out of your budget,
Yes, it does.
correct? Okay.
Yes. We tried, Paul, at one time to get each office to take responsibility, and they all declined. They want to be users, but they all declined. So yeah, it comes out of my budget. Then also Lake City Bank, there's no increase there. Microvote is our company that we use for elections, and no increase there. Thank goodness, since this is not next year will not be an election year. So that just shows you right there as far as the maintenance costs. So that was it as far as that budget. Is there any?
And while you're on that, I have one other question.
Yeah.
Your totals for your maintenance for CSI, Lake City, Microvote, total over this $25,000 that you have in that equipment and program maintenance line item.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that somewhere else?
As far as
The amount?
25 is for her CSI, 4,200 is for her bank fees,
And the 9,500?
and Microvote is out of her 122
Is out of
budget.
my election budget.
Okay.
Deb, you got possible special election for Whitco. What's that about?
Yeah, you saw that, didn't you, Jim? Whitco. I thought that'd be the last thing you all would see going like this. I got a call from Whitco Schools, and there is a referendum question that they would like to have put on a ballot. I tried to talk them into having the referendum question put on for this general election, which would be free for them to be able to do that. Their reply was, no, we want to take our time and do this right. So we have a possibility of a special election next year, and the thing about special election, we have to run it like we do anything else.
Don't
You've
they
got
have to
your-
pay something for it?
Yes, they do. They have to pay us, I believe it's around 60% of it. I calculated to the best that I could on what it would cost Whitley County, and it's around $7,000 to $8,000. And also Kosciuszko's going to have to charge also, because it's going to deal with Kosciuszko and Whitley. So I was hoping when I sent those figures, he'd be like, no, let's not do it, but that was not the case.
Well, they just had a referendum. Can you do that whenever you want to, or is there a period that you can't do it after you have one?
He can do it.
They can have one every year if they wanted one.
Tell them to take their time enough for the two-year election.
So, yeah, where Jim's at, you all might be there, but this is the election budget, and as you know, like I said, it is an awful election year, other than the possibility of having the special election. What I have highlighted in yellow is what I have requested. Even though it is not an election year, the county election board still gets paid half of what they usually get paid during an election year. The reason being for that is we still do have county election board meetings periodically. to discuss certain issues that might come up. And then also too, at the end of the year, we'll need to start preparing for 2014. On down the line there, where you see voter registration and election supplies, I really won't need election supplies, but voter registration continues year-round. There will be supplies that will be needed to continue in functioning voter registration, so that's why I've requested that amount of money. Even though, again, it's not an election year, we still have to pay Microvote their maintenance fee. And right now, too, something that's kind of exciting, and I really hope that it helps. Microvote just a few days ago picked up all of our machines, and they are doing a conversion for me. They are going from the gray screens to now to the dark black screens with the white lettering, and I am praying and hoping that this will help voters to be able to read the screens better. And
Debbie, they got your sheet on there.
oh good, so you're aware of that then, okay. So again, that's why we still have to pay maintenance for Microvote regardless. And then the very last thing is, I believe it's for conferences, if I can get my page turned here. We will still need to attend conferences throughout the year to keep us updated, so forth. So that's my election budget. Sorry about all the paperwork.
Very thorough. Thank you.
Do you foresee the voting machines 2 years old?
How old are they, are you asking, Kim?
Didn't we just buy some here?
I did not. I'm using that money that was approved to have the conversion take place, because new equipment that I would buy would be the same as what we already have. So what I'm doing is I'm converting all of the machines, so they'll be easier to read. I am purchasing 8 new machines and 2 new printers.
So when we approved to buy the new ones, we never did that.
Nope. Because I thought that I was doing a good thing, because I wanted to save the county money, because what we did with this past election is we combined precincts. And in combining the precincts, we were able to use less machines. And I thought, great, this is a blessing. Less machines, that means I have more here for backup. But it's turned out to be kind of a nightmare. We've had a lot of complaints about not being able to read the screens. So I took it upon myself to call Microvote, and I said, look, we've got a problem here. I need something done now. And so he said they've never done a conversion like this before, but they were excited and going to be able to do it at the cost of about $13,000 for the conversion. And new machines are around, well, I don't have my numbers here, but I think they were around 3,000, wasn't it, Jenny? Something like that. And then a couple of new printers. I'm sorry, Glenn?
You would think they'd want to automatically build this into their new machines.
I know. You can, yeah. I can't even answer. I'm not even going to answer for Microvote. Yes. Yeah, we sent surveys to all of the poll workers, surveys to voters, and I would say that the #1 complaint was not being able to read the screens. And when we have absentee voting that takes place in our office, we set up usually about 4 machines. We had 3 with the gray screens and 1 with the black screen. And it's getting out there with voters, because we'd have voters that come in and say, do you have any with the black screen? So, yeah.
Any other questions for me?
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for bringing this in. Yes.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I was hoping you wouldn't hit me over the head with more paperwork. Thank you.